Greetings everyone. So I welcome you to the fourth part of the chapter number 6 life processes, that is human excretory system. Me and Torso, Mr. Torso, we welcome you and let us know how does the excretory system works, especially in humans, right? So there is a model, but before that let us understand through this chart what all are the parts of our excretory system. And it is like this. This is my right kidney, this is my left kidney, right? So there are two kidneys. Then there is a duct which starts from each kidney and enters into this urinary bladder. So there are two ducts, we call them ureter, right? And both the ureters, they open into a urinary bladder which opens to the outside through a hole, we call it urethra. So periodically from time to time, urine is discharged from the body through the urethra, and urinary bladder collects the urine. Now if you see both the kidneys, again this is my right kidney, this is my left kidney, what happens? There is one renal artery and there is one renal vein. Anything related to the excretory system is known as renal. We call it renal. तो जो डॉक्टर्स भी होते हैं वो अपनी क्लिनिक खोलते हैं, अगर किडनी वाले डॉक्टर्स होते हैं, they call it a renal clinic, right? So we have renal arteries and renal vein. What does renal artery do? Renal artery brings the impure blood to both the kidneys, right? And the blood is filtered here and then renal vein takes it back to the body. So that is the function of renal artery, renal vein, and then the filtered urine which carries the nitrogenous waste, urea basically, right? It brings it to the urinary bladder and through urethra it is discharged from time to time. This is the model. Now if you see that the right kidney is little towards the lower and little smaller in size, reason is that there is another organ above it, and to adjust that the right kidney is little smaller. So you need to remember this fact that right kidney is little shorter and placed little below than the left kidney. Reason that above the right kidney we have the liver, right? And that is why it is little downwards. That's one thing. Now for as in respiratory system, the unit of lungs is that alveoli, right? Similarly, there are units, filtering units in the kidney also. We call them nephrons. What do we call them? We call them nephrons, and in each kidney there are 1.2 million nephrons. Imagine 1.2 million nephron here, 1.2 million nephron here, total 2.4 million nephrons work together to filter the blood, to remove the nitrogenous waste material so that we can live a healthy life. But what do we listen? We listen that kidney खराब हो गई, 30% खराब है, dialysis हो रही है. So we talk about all that later on. For now, let us move to the soft board where we will study in detail about the nephrons. Alright? Alright children, so welcome back from the laboratory to the classroom, and you have just studied about the structure of the human excretory system, and you very well know that the unit of the excretory system are the nephrons. I have opened many images of the nephron. That is the advantage of internet, that you can n number of images. It is just that image should be as per your class level. So this is class 10 and we have the images for class 10 about the nephron, a proper label diagram. You need to learn the diagram. And the best part, it's very easy to study biology because the way you draw the diagram, in the same way you learn about its details, right? So if you know the diagram very well, you know the labelings, it becomes really easy for you. Yeah. So we know that the unit of excretory system is nephron. There are lot many pictures. This one is in much more detail and easy to understand, so I have taken this picture. So let us go in detail about this picture. I have enlarged it, right? Now this is the single unit of kidney, the excretory system, and it is a nephron, right? Now nephron, it begins with a cup-shaped structure. We call it glomerulus. Yeah, Bowman's capsule. Inside it, the capillaries network is known as glomerulus, right? So this is the Bowman's capsule. It's a cup-shaped structure. Now it receives capillaries, and you know that I have just now told you that renal artery brings the impure blood for purification to the kidney. Kidney, the unit is nephron. Nephron में the capillary which bring it is known as efferent artery. This is the efferent vessel, efferent artery, and it is bringing, there is a network, and that network is why so? Because it is increasing the surface area, and here are some cilia which helps in the movement of the whatever are the dissolved substances into it. Now what all are the dissolved substances? Of course we have to remove the metabolic waste. Up 10th mein ho, so I will be using the word metabolic waste, which is nitrogenous waste, and we have to remove this waste. But we know it that blood contains amino acids, it contains glucose, it contains water, it contains certain important salts, and body needs them. So this is the filtration taking place, and you will see that how smartly nothing which is of importance to the body is wasted here. Let's see how. So this is the glomerulus, the network of the capillaries, the efferent arteriole which is bringing the impure blood, and here are the cilia which help in the movement here, right? Now from here, let us understand the structure. There is this efferent arteriole is coming out of it, and it is coiling around the whole of the nephron, right? It coils around the whole of the nephron. You understand the structure of the nephron. This is the Bowman's capsule, and then this tube is coiled, and then it is making a U-shaped structure. We call it Henle's loop or loop of Henle. Both are one and the same thing. Henle's loop or the loop of Henle. And then this U-shaped tube again coils a little here, and then it meets a broader duct. You know the way the sewer systems are there. In a colony, from every house, the drain comes out and it meets to the bigger drain at the main road. That bigger drain again leads to the main road, and that main pipeline gets discharged into the wherever they are discharging it for purification or filtration. Same thing is happening here. Each nephron opens into a collecting duct. What is it? It is a collecting duct. They are collecting the waste here. All these collecting ducts from each kidney, they go and meet the ureter from each kidney. The collecting ducts meet into each kidney is ureter, and then ureter carries the urine into the urinary bladder. This is how it works. So now you know the structure of the nephron. Now understand this. This is efferent vessel, efferent arteriole. It is broader than the efferent. A comes first, so efferent comes first. E comes after in the alphabet, so efferent also comes afterwards. So efferent is bringing the impure blood, the filtration is happening here, and this efferent is actually encircling and absorbing the good things. At every place the reabsorption is taking place. Now there are four things. Amino acid and glucose are absorbed here. They are reabsorbed here. So this is known as selective reabsorption. You can watch this video n number of times to understand it, but I am also repeating it again and again. So here it is selective reabsorption, right? Selective reabsorption of what? Of amino acids, very important for making protein, and glucose for carbohydrate. Of course, oxidation of glucose results into the ATP energy. So definitely we want it back. We don't want to get it wasted. So in the proximal tubule, proximal convoluted tubule, matlab, you try to understand. Proximal, which is closer. Closer to what? Closer to this filter cup, Bowman's capsule. So this convoluted, matlab twisted, twirled. So this is proximal convoluted tube. Distal means something which is far off, right? So this is the distal convoluted tube. Convoluted is all twisted and twirled, right? So we have proximal convoluted tube, we have distal convoluted tube, and here we have the selective reabsorption of amino acids and glucose, right? Now what is happening in the Henle's loop? Capillary network here, right? You know, our 70% of our body is made up of water, and suppose it's weather like this, the body is losing water in the form of sweat. Definitely it has to maintain the water content of the body, 70%, right? You are not drinking that amount of water. It becomes the duty of each and every nephron to reabsorb the water. And that is what is happening here. Salt and water are reabsorbed, and this whole process is known as osmoregulation. What is it called? Osmoregulation. Osmosis is taking place, which is regulating the temperature and all the processes of the body. It's very important. You try these days not drinking water at least for 4-5 hours. You will start experiencing it that, you know, inside your body there are changes and you desperately need to drink water. Why? Because there is a deficiency of water in the body, because you are losing a lot of water in the form of sweat, right? This is selective reabsorption. This is osmoregulation. So these two things are taking place here. The whole of the important things body is absorbing, and efferent is going and meeting it to the renal vein from where the blood is moving out of the kidney, and here the urine. The basic waste material of mammals is urea. So we are known as ureotelic. What are we? We are ureotelic. Okay, I want to get a new page. We are ureotelic, right? We are ureotelic. In reptiles and birds, they don't drink that amount of water. So you must have seen that their poop, their excreta is pretty hard, and because their waste material is uric acid. So they are uricotelic. What are they? They are uricotelic. in fish and all water animals, the waste is ammonia. So they are ammonotelic. What are they? They are ammonotelic animals. We are ureotelic, right? Because our main nitrogenous waste is urea, so we are ureotelic animals, right? So this is how the kidney functions. Okay, this is how the kidney functions. I'll move back to the this diagram, right? I think in your book this diagram is given. It's perfectly alright. You learn this diagram, and if you learn the diagram, it will be easier for you to explain. Now what happens when people do not have good habits, when they get used to the bad habits, substance abuse, alcohol, this and that, the kidney starts suffering. Or if somebody is a sugar patient, the internal organ starts deteriorating, right? So degrading, deteriorating. So what happens? That the working capacity of the kidney starts affecting, and that is why you must have heard people saying that his kidney needs a replacement, or somebody's kidney is working only 30%. You know, somebody is going through dialysis. Now what is this dialysis? Let us understand this. I am using the term dialysis. Dialysis is nothing else but it is the artificial kidney. It's a painful procedure, but people whose kidney is not functioning properly, if this metabolic waste, if this nitrogenous waste remains in the body starts getting, toxic, poisonous, because these all materials are harmful for us. So they need to be removed from the body from time to time. Especially in the summer season, you definitely need to drink 3 to 4 liters of water, because we are losing a lot of water in the form of sweat, right? So if the kidney is not functioning properly, of course medical science has done the advancement, and now we have an artificial kidney. We know the process as dialysis. What happens in that? The blood is taken out through thin tubes, and it goes through a machine where the blood is filtered, all the nitrogenous waste are removed, and the pure blood is now made enter into the body through the other tube. So this whole process takes 3 to 5 hours, and it's a painful thing. So when we know this, what is the importance, what is the purpose of studying this, that we really need to take very good care of our internal organs. Otherwise we'll become slave to the medical system. We'll continuously have to eat medicines, go through these painful procedures. So it's better we keep our habits very good and enjoy this life, which is very beautiful. See, our whole machinery in this whole chapter of life processes, you have studied that all our internal organ systems are made perfect. They are very efficient. When does the problem come? When we do not take care of it, when we do not look after it, when we indulge into wrongdoings and bad habits, then definitely we suffer. So the main purpose is first to know how does the system function. Second, to know that we have the knowledge, we have the information, how do we need to look after us, take care of us, right? So I leave you on this note, and if there is any problem, do ask me, don't feel shy, and I'll be replying to all your answers and queries. Maybe I'll come up with another video, whatever it is, right? So with this, thank you very much. Have a nice day.